Hey 7th graders, welcome to this video. It's Wednesday. Let's solve some problems by using proportions to make predictions. Question number 1. A high school has 1,500 students. In a random sample of 50 students, 32 own one or more pet. Predict the number of students at the high school who own one or more pets. I set up my proportion. 32 out of 50 students is the same as how many out of 1,500. So to solve this, I'm going to use cross multiplication, meaning I'm going to set the diagonals equal to each other using cross multiplication, and then I solve using 1. And I get 960 students said that they have one or more pets. Question 2. Gerald buys a bag of 7,500 assorted beads online. A random sample of 150 beads contains 17 red beads. Predict the number of red beads in the bag of assorted beads that Gerald bought. Let's set this up like a proportion. 17 out of the sample of 150 is how many out of the actual bag of assorted? Let's set this equal by multiplying the diagonals. I get this, and then I solve by dividing both sides by 150. So now I can predict that proportionally there will be 850 beads out of 7,500 assorted beads online. Okay, here's the third kind of problem for predictions. This is where we're given a table. Mickey Mouse invited 2,000 animals to his clubhouse. The results of a random sample of animals he invited are below in this table. Estimate the total number of each animal that will attend his clubhouse. So in order to figure out this problem, we have to set up ratios and set them proportional to how many out of 2,000. So before we even do that, we cannot do anything until we know the total in the sample. So we have to add up ducks, dogs, and mice. That gives us that the total number in the sample was 100. So for dogs, there's 42 out of 100. So we set that equivalent to how many out of 2,000? Use cross multiplication, and we get 84,000 equals 10x. Now we solve. Divide both sides by 100, and we get x is equal to 840 animals that are dogs. Now let's move on to ducks. There are 26 out of 100. How many out of 2,000 is that? Let's do the same thing where we find cross multiplication. We get 52,000 is equal to 100x. We get the number of ducks is 520. Finally, let's figure out the number of mice. So 32 out of 100 is equal to how many out of 2,000? Cross multiply, divide by 100. We get x is equal to 640. So 640 mice, 520 ducks, 840 dogs. Now to check and make sure that all of these are accurate, we need to add them together to make sure that they are 2,000. So add 840 plus 640 plus 520. I could have used a calculator, but in this case I just did this the long way and I get 2,000. Alright, 7th graders, that concludes Wednesday's lesson. Feel free to reach out to your teachers if you have any questions.